Welcome back into Good Parenting. I'm your host, Matt Bubala. Joining us right now is Dr. John Medina. The new book is called Brain Rules for Baby. It's the follow-up to the book Brain Rules, which was for adults who want to get better in life at stuff with the brain. Now it's for the people who most probably need help in life, quite honestly. It's us new parents or us parents who've already had kids for a while. You've been sitting here off air with me for about 10 minutes now, freaking me out with all the stuff you know about our brain and why we've gotten this far and how we've survived and what we need to do. And, you know, I'm a guy who hosts a parenting show, and I'm not a parenting expert. I never pretend to be. I don't know anything about parenting, except I got 4 kids at home. So you learn every day, and you talk to people like you and pediatricians and all those people, and we try and do better all the time. My whole theory on parenting comes down to patience. That's where I'm. Now, you have theories in your book about what's most important in parenting. Mine is just, if we had patience in infinite supply, we would all be pretty good parents. Because to me, that's where we always go wrong. Your thoughts?
Well, I'd say that that's necessary but not sufficient.
Okay.
Patience is a good first step. If we take the work of Diana Baumrind and John Gottman very seriously, Diana did her work in the 60s, John did his work in the late 90s. They came to the same conclusion. Here it is. All of successful parenting rises or falls as an interaction from a single battlefield. Want to know what that battlefield is?
The couch.
No, the bed. No, it's what a parent does when their kids' emotions run hot.
Okay.
When kids' emotions run cold, the behaviors don't segregate. You don't predict it. 20 years later, you still don't know how the kid turned out. But watch carefully what a parent does when their kids' emotions run hot, when they run intense. Because what they do at that moment, there's both an initiating behavior and a terminating behavior. What they do at that moment, arced over a 15 to 20-year span of working with the child, directly predicts how that kid is going to turn out.
You just sold you just said what I'm saying. It's patience. Because when your kid is running hot, when your kid is having a tantrum, when my daughter Anna is refusing to go clean up her room or refusing to brush her teeth, or Tommy is having a fit because his older brother got to go off with his friends, it's how I react. Do I change the situation? What do I do there? Or do I flip out? Because I have no patience.
Well, I'd say you'll remember my response: necessary but not sufficient.
Right.
Let's take an example of when a kid's emotions run hot. Let's say it's a 3-year-old, and it's first encounter with primary grief. The goldfish dies, and that primary grief is a real loss.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the goldfish dies, and little Johnny, Andy, whoever, let's call him Andy. Andy is sobbing. What do you do? In the United States, statistically, Diana and John found, parents do one of 4 things. They're clusters of behaviors. We should go through all 4 of them. Only one of them has the real, the secret sauce, the ability to create an emotional, stable child and to get them into Harvard and to have them want to support you in your old age and all the things that I think most parents have a dream about occasionally. Okay, let's go through them, though. Reaction number 1, you don't want, but it's common. Here it is. Oh, Andy, your goldfish died. But it was just a goldfish. This is no big deal. We'll go to Petco and get you another.
Okay.
That reaction, which John calls dismissing behavior, essentially tries to anesthetize the child's strong feelings. But there's no dealing with that feeling at all, right? I mean, they're just saying, in fact, they're saying it's no big deal. You know what the child says? It is a big deal. Sure. That's why I'm crying. And you're not giving me any tools with which to deal. You're not even acknowledging it. It's dismissing parenting. There's no secret sauce in there, Matt. Second reaction. Let's say it's a dad looking over at the son. Andy, your goldfish died. Lots of things die. Life is tough. We're a family of tough people. We're not going to, you go outside and play. You dry off those tears and be a man. What's wrong with that is very much like what we just talked about, dismissing. Only this, John calls it disapproving style of parenting style, is you take those intense feelings and you throw a rock at them. He's being a man by not crying. Well, I'm a wuss if I am crying. And so the little Andy is looking at it and goes, it's still a frickin' big feeling. Yeah. I still don't know what to do with it. And now I'm told that it's wrong. Therefore, I am wrong. There's something wrong with me, so they begin to self-internalize.
And we're teaching them to shut off their emotions instead of learning how to work with them and deal with them.
Right, and you can't shut off emotion. You could no more change an emotional display than you could change your eye color, Matt.
Okay.
Emotions just exist. They come up. There's genetic wiring in the brain that causes them. Okay, there's no secret sauce in that one either. Third reaction. This one is hysterical because from my own research files, I wrote down this quote from this woman who said, if Andy's goldfish died, you know what she said? She said, well, if that was my child, I hate it when pets die, I'd go out for a run. And then I'd find Andy, and then we'd go get a Baskin and Robbins, maybe Jamocha almond fudge. I think that's exactly what she said. What's hysterical about that is that Andy's not even in the picture, Matt. You know, she's bugged because she doesn't deal well with dying pets, so she's going to go out for a run. Well, John calls that laissez-faire parenting style, and man, isn't that a great style for it. And Diana would add the word indulgent style because you're still not teaching the kid anything, and you want to get moved. The kid doesn't know what to do. Only one style, the fourth one, has the secret sauce that allows emotional regulation and whatnot to get it in this battlefield. Here it is. John calls it emotion coaching. Diana calls it authoritative behavior. The first reaction that you need to do when Andy's goldfish died is this. Andy, your goldfish died. It's awful when things that you love die. And I know that's the first time that's ever happened to you. Come here, Andy. Give me a hug. I'm just going to help you cry.
But we probably don't want to sound that menacing, right? When we're doing it, because you kind of freaked me out just now.
Oh, did I really?
The voice that you were doing. The caring parent is what we want to be there, right?
Well, you can interpret my verbal, nonverbal cues any way you like. But the bottom line is if you're not projecting empathy as an initial response, and what the content of that message is that it's marinated in the ability, we call it virtual transposition. It's the ability to take your kid's feelings, put it on you as if it were clothing, and then moving. So it's not quite patience. It's more. It's actually a larger projection than that. Patience has almost a disengagement with it. I'll just wait till you've settled down.
Right.
This parenting style says, I'm not going to wait till you settle down. I'm going to engage you. I'm going to actively tell you that. And then when that's finished, most parents who have this, empathy is great, but it's just a gateway. Now you begin to teach the child what to do with the grief once they have their feeling. For example, you might say, we're now going to have a funeral for your goldfish because I know it meant a lot to you, and let's just keep it up, and let's go visit that goldfish because it's kind of what you do when you got something grieving. I will tell you, Andy, that grief actually subsides after a while, but when you're in the middle of it, we really need to embrace it and get going, and then we'll watch it together, and I'll ask you when or if it is subsiding, and then move on from it. So there's both an initiating and terminating response to it. Would you like to have a boss that does that for you, Matt, on a regular basis? That whenever you had what's called an emotionally competent stimulus, maybe if you're the boss, maybe you need to be that.
Yeah.
It projects such safety to humans that if you hook them up physiologically and you give them, I'll call it an empathy bomb, or give them a sense where you're projecting, you can actually watch people calm down.